try to end the game at that point when Naga's not ready to deal with you.
Yeah. Like that being said, DC, they've changed it up. They can change it up again.
I mean, there's still Shadow Demon for them. Shadow Demon seems really good for the Mirana setup. Naga, make more illusions.
And on cue, Shadow Demon comes out for DC.
Super good.
Very stable pick.
Yeah, for Wings right now, they might have to consider getting heroes that can deal with the illusions because it's kind of obvious that DC are going to go for this core Naga with the Shadow Demon here.
10
But like,
seconds remaining.
there's not that many heroes that can really do it. There's like a Lion, but there's way too many illusions for Lion to deal with it. Then we have like maybe like a Legion Commander off lane, but you don't really want to have that either.
Like a
Reserve time.
support Zeus or something. I only suggest because it's Wings. Who knows,
If it was
right?
Wings, maybe, yeah.
Dude, I like it. I like support Zeus.
They didn't have Invoker. I would look back to something like Magnus, just as what we saw.
Yeah, maybe go for Cleave, like I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean, they're still Sanking. I was like thinking something is still there in the pool that we are missing that deals with illusions.
They usually run Sanking off lane, right?
No, there was one game that I saw Isis, maybe 2 games that he played the Sanking like support on a position 4.
Yeah, would be pretty good too here. Like they can go greedy if they want to.
10
But
seconds
usually
remaining.
DC with that draft, they go like aggressive try lane. And they like want to make it really hard for the
5
enemy team.
seconds
It's scary
remaining.
to like farm up. And Void is a pretty, like he's not a bad safe laner, but he doesn't offer like any
Reserve
damage.
He doesn't pressure the offlane as much as like someone else like Luna.
Yeah. So like I do expect the Naga Siren to be most likely like in an aggressive try lane. The Shadow Demon plus
How about
1.
mid? You don't think there's a chance that they might do it mid?
No, it's very possible too if you want to like avoid pressure.
Yeah, but have they ever actually, because I know Wii doesn't play the hero, have they ever switched lanes where Wii joins the tri lane and
No.
resolution is mid?
No, not so far.
I have not done that.
So probably based on that reason alone, that might not happen here.
Yeah. You think this is gonna go something like Kunkka again? One of their really favorite heroes? Kunkka, Shadow Demon,
I mean, it's
Naga
very
Siren?
good here. It's good for catching out Sanking, especially the boat buff is great.
So you think that they would run like an aggro tri lane with Naga with Kunkka plus Shadow Demon?
I mean, they did that in the past, it's just to pressure the enemy offlane, and usually it works out really nicely, and then it just get like a huge lead.
No.
Wings game.
Dude, I've
Turn
not
to
seen
bat.
that baby boy for a long time.
Not in a long time.
They did it in the group game against OG. The game that they had Doom, they had a support morphling, it was all against the anti-mage.
I mean, it's incredible against Invoker and Void.
But that's the offlaner, right? Not position 4
10
support.
Yeah,
seconds
offlaner.
remaining.
Yeah.
Okay, Doom offlaner.
I mean, the nice thing about this hero is that you pretty
remaining.
much just go in, you get your spell off, and the damage is pretty much done. You know, one person's just out of the fight, and plus, he can go,
Reserve
he's
time.
very versatile, can go anywhere.
10 seconds
But you don't want to have him against Sanking, right? Like if it's actually Sanking offlane, you get completely destroyed.
Just know, you have to
DC's
let Sanking
turn
deal
to
with the
bat.
tri lane and not get a 1v1 matchup in this
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
You definitely do not want that to happen for you.
That's why I think DC will just like try to avoid going aggressive tri lane, no matter what they pick.
Yeah, but if they go, say, defensive lanes, do you think
10
it's better to have
seconds
Mirana as a
remaining.
support, or you just go for something else and just let Mirana go for the
5
mid lane and
seconds
be your core
remaining.
position?
No, I think whether it's better or not is not even important for DC because we is just like so confident and
Reserve
comfortable
time.
in Mirana right now. He just makes plays happen like every game. Like we spoke about it before. Positions are like good and fine and all, but
I guess with that in mind, so
seconds
Dazzle will
remaining.
probably be their best pick, right? Like Shadow Demon, Dazzle,
DC's
Naga, your lane's
turn
super
to
strong.
pick.
Dazzle is amazing with both their heroes and against the enemy heroes as well.
Yeah, when they're trying to focus you in the bubble or the Sanking Power Strike, you just have the Grave to bail your teammate out.
But that being said, might still be a support Naga. It's very unlikely, but you know,
10
DC, you never know
seconds
until the last
remaining.
pick.
Yeah, I guess so.
And support Naga does have its... So this is support Naga again.
Wings
Alright.
Gaming's
So
turn to
aggressive
pick.
Aggro trialing. Like, I don't like this for the single reason that if it's offlane Sanking, Doom is gonna have a very, very hard time.
Yeah, but he's always good at recovery, right? Like, you have Devour, you can Iron Talon, and plus you pretty much, I think...
Do you think it's worth it though for that?
Yeah,
and to
because
give
if
Sanking a free
10
lane though.
seconds
he can still be, he
remaining.
can be the mech carrier for the team as well. That's another thing.
But do you want to give like the only real
5
playmaker of
seconds
Wings
remaining.
like a good lane? Like if that SK gets like a super fast blink, he can turn those fights around.
I mean, it's going to be a trade-off
5
for sure,
seconds
but I think for
remaining.
DC, they can still make it work.
Yeah, maybe they go defensive lane as well. So I'm not sure.
It's a lot of Slaughter then.
I mean, in that 1v1, I think Doom's fine.
Now I like it way better.
Yeah.
Like if they go aggro now, I actually think they're favored.
Yeah, I'm going with DC.
Yeah, I'm
with you
going
guys.
with DC too.
Same.
We'll see if DC are going to be able to move ahead 2-0 in this best of 5, or if Wings are going to be able to match things up 1-1. Let's send it over to the sidelines right now where we got our casters. It's going to be Toby 1 and Merlini.
Anti-mage.
DC versus Wings. First, these guys break the meta, then they make the meta, then they break it again just to give us a new thing, a new spectacle here on the main stage. The Doombringer pickup, now out for Digital Chaos. Ben, thoughts?
That's Moo's signature hero. That's when I first saw Moo. I was like, wow, this guy's really good
10
on a hero that
seconds
wasn't
remaining.
super popular at the time. I think it's one of his best heroes. Similarly, on the side of Wings, we have the
5
Invoker.
seconds remaining.
Of course, what one ESL Manila with.
Well, can't wait to see it. It's time to get into the game as game number 2 of this TI6 Grand
Prepare
Final
for battle.
is underway. Digital Chaos 1 game up over the Chinese Wings as we will be bringing in an Iron Talon Sand King for the off lane and an Iron Talon Slaughter. They're doubling the talons on these two boys.
It's going to be tough for them to stay in lane. Yeah, double Iron Talon.
Yeah, they're actually
right
doing,
off the bat.
they're actually doing this.
And DC have already placed them as a reward on the high ground to make sure there aren't any Iron Talon shenanigans.
You wonder, like, do they come over and contest this as well? You can send an SD over. For now, like, you'd also be concerned about the SD rotations. What happens when he moves into mid lane? Setting Weehar up for some really good arrow combinations is an old classic combo. The SD Mirana together, you've even got the ensnare from Misery, so multiple
30
ways
seconds
to
to
enable
battle.
resolution as well, like with static link combos, other ways. It's like DC just have everything as far as combos go. The Wings have a superior team fight.
I think Invoker's also one of the few heroes in mid that can actually stand up to the SD. Mirana, you want a hero with summons so that you can block the arrow without any of your supports having to rotate over there, but more so concerned about their Iron Talon.
Yeah, where do these guys go with
battle
that? Like,
begins.
do you actually send one of them into the Radiant jungle?
prize is mine.
Like, is that the way you start this off? Like, you're running double R in town, so you've
You mean
obviously...
Dire Jungle?
Sorry, yeah, well, you could. haven't seen a Radiant support invade the Dire jungle for farming in, well, since Ricky's, like, Enigma started to try
Yeah, I
and
think only
dodge
Enigma can
Ricky's.
do that.
Yeah.
Maybe Doom too, actually.
Hey, you could always pick an Enigma. I don't think anyone here will be sad about that.
So Moo will start off in the off lane. They're just safe lane, tri lane.
Yeah, so nothing unusual from them, and the dual off lane from Wings, so...
But, you know, if they're starting off Wings, they see that 3 heroes are up there, they expected that.
Look at the quick rotations too. Moo walks all the way over, gets hit by the crush. Eyesight just bone strike. Shadow's on his way in, while the static link up on the top lane, they're battling there. As Innocence makes a break for the tree line. It's Moo who's trying to escape on the bottom. He actually devoured a centaur, got a 3-man stomp, and trying to reach back to his own tier 1 tower. It won't happen, however.
How is Innocent still alive on this top lane?
I do not know. He's had so much damage, stolen Misery. He hasn't even leveled an ability. Now he'll level up the ensnare, but what help is there? It's only that one range creep, and he actually... He stops him from attacking by putting the Fate's Edict on him.
Oh, they actually did not have enough vision. No vision inside those trees to finish off a solo Oracle after the faces would have.
And I wish we could see that Moo player get on the bottom lane. That was superb from him. But now though, the top lane, a little bit more difficult. Misery has leveled up in Snare early on, so we can't harass out with Riptide.
They just don't have enough damage to follow up. They need a lot of right clicks after the static link drains enough damage. No oob, no way to really slow them down.
So make the best of what you got. That's what the Sand King can do. Mr. Iron Talon, go wherever the hell he wants. He does have a level 1 Burrow Strike, so it's also not great for him, but he has hit level. So the options are there. Fade's deciding to go a little bit deeper into the Dire jungle. So, hey, you said it. Like, is this that time when you send a Radiant hero into the Dire jungle? Instead, Fade's actually going to loop all the way around. It's like he's here to pull the creep wave down to get some experience that way. But he won't find it. He doesn't have an observer ward either, so there's no way to establish vision inside the DC jungle to safely farm.
He had to play especially carefully. He had to use 2 stomps on the bottom lane, or 2 crushes on the bottom lane, and a
Moo might be... Okay, he's fine. He's going to fortune then to slow him down. It's a level 2 time lock up for Shadow. But he'll need some serious RNG to get through that Doombringer.
And the Doom is also an excellent pick versus the...
They're going top lane. Eyesight locked up to start with. It's the ensnare. They're still dealing a lot of damage. Now also, Eyesight essentially was both of them being dropped at the same time. Disruption is up here, but the 3-man crush from Face Beyond. Eyesight, one more attack. There it is. The Shadow Deep the poisonal region. It's staring to the slide out of 2. They can make it a 2 for him. They do. Digital Chaos They couldn't find the time to inflict the damage before, but this time they found it.
Maybe a little bit of nerves getting to Wings. They missed the burrow strike on that Naga Siren. Would have definitely helped him out a little bit there. And the Ensnare will take down 2. And Wings, they are not one to really give up on the off lane. And I'm a little surprised by that because they do have Iron Talons. But Iron Talons aren't terribly useful if you're sitting in the lane. You prefer to have Stouts, Salves, Mangoes, Fairy Fires, Sticks, pretty much anything else aside from that. I guess the armor helps him a decent bit, however.
Zuxa scouted out, moving over. He starts with the poison, still got disruption available. Weeha, hard to hit that arrow, so he leaps over to try and hit the arrow. Maybe just a starfall. Pyrostrike finds those, dropping that SD low with a cold snap. It's Weeha who finds the first kill. The Tank King will get revenge, however, into the SD. He'll have to back away as Slaughter rotates over. The crush to Wee, but Ice has no interest in being involved in this.
Still suffering on the mana front. They're not really getting too much value out of the Iron Talons that are under way too much stress from all of these lanes under heavy fire from DC.
I'll take your tribute.
Easy bottle refresh for Wee, so he can go back up to full health, full mana. He does miss the bottom rune, however. Innocence made his way over for that.
Wonder what build Shadow's going to go for. We see him get Linken's first a lot on the safe lane Void, and I think it's definitely warranted here versus the Doom.
At the same time, a lot of Faces boys we've been seeing on the main stage have just picked up Vlad's early on as well. Probably depends on when Wings feels like they can fight. We just need to create some more space for this Slaughter. Yeah, he's got boots and Iron Talon, but the dream is getting that early Blink Dagger right now. DC don't want to give him any level of space as they force into the tier 1 tower. Ice, only a level 1 Burrow Strike. With the crush, they do get the distance. It's also only a level 1 static thing, so Resolution not doing that much damage. He's put more points into the AoE of that plasma field.
But now DC, they don't have any creeps to tank, so they're just gonna sit here. They have a very deep Observer Ward too, and the Wings look like they do not want to let this tower fall. Usually this tower is not that important, but this game a little bit more important because of the Iron Talon. They can't utilize that south jungle. They need this large camp.
They're trying to go for a revenge on mid. That SK is wrapped all the way around the back lines. He has the Observe Ward on his hillside. It's going to time out in 8 seconds time, but it gave enough information. He's able to escape the gank as time locks, move, Fortune's in again. Shadow needs another time lock to make this work. He'll get it. He may die in the tower of Innocence. No, the heal is there. And Shadow barely survives. Also with a salve up his sleeve, can save Innocence the mana.
Whew, that was close. Nice Faith Edict coming up from Y. He definitely needed that tick of a heal to save him up there. And Wings, finally that Observer Ward is down on the side of DC, so Faith can safely jungle.
So this early on, haven't seen the Invoker really being tested that heavily. Like obviously he still got that one death early on, but like Wings, how's your timing looking? Are you going to get your double Blink Daggers up when you're feeling comfortable?
Dire's middle tower is
So the thing is with the Invoker, they don't actually need too many items. They can easily set up with a Burrow Strike during nighttime. He has move speed built too with the Windlace or Chronosphere from Faces Void, and just farm out with the Invoker. You typically don't see them getting involved too much. And it's not like you have a carry Naga on the opposite team, so they're okay. The main concern is the Mirana Ags.
Concern up on the top lane. Misery ready to wrap around the rear. He's got illusions available, so no problem diving the tower, but Faith,
Radiant's top
he
tower
understands something is wrong, but he can't see. Now you'll see the illusions arrive. But they just want this top tower. Support's on the way in the form of Innocence, heading to the top lane. Q1 tower, the fortification, so Faith actually just running himself in, but still got disruption as well as, and snares on cooldown for 2 more seconds. The TP is Faces Void through as well. They're going to be careful in DC, the corner, catching Sussers as well to Resolution. The Zone Strike will help them. They take 1, they take 2, they move to Resolution. Time locking up, the Crush still on cooldown, actually no matter. Resolution will steal the damage. This stops the Faces Void from finding the kill. Resolution, he's walking out of here. And he gets away under the cover of the Moonlight Shadow.
At least Misery got the tower there. Expertly baited by the Slaughter. He forced him to go on top of him and committed to that fight now.
Mid lane.
Boy, TV'd in.
Misery. Oh, okay. Again, the Forge Bros are blocking the angle. Sorry, we were sitting right on top of Blink. Like he was itching to go for the kill, but just didn't have the support for a bottom lane. They go for the kill. Sunstrike move. Gonna dodge it. Only barely, but turns on 3 points up and 4 surf. He's alive to survive. ISI dropping down. It was the Infernal Blade, which is still ticking him down to 38 HP. He'll make a break for the 3 and survive. As Move Just reminding us all why the Doombringer is difficult to kill in that off-lane position.
That was a really nice position by him, though. He expected a Sunstrike and actually ran towards the Radiant side, expecting it to go into his walking path. It actually should be. You should be able to dodge it at this point in the game if you place it just right on top of him. But, you know, it's normal to lead it a little bit. Link really needed that Sunstrike kill. His Midas is going to come out a little bit slowly. He's doing very well in terms of CS from Wii. The tables have turned since last game.
They're going to try and create some space up on top. There's no level 6 for Ice. Fate does have the crush. They start with Fire Strike Disruption. Something right on top of it. They still need to get that crush with a sprint forward. They can move over the Shadow Demon. We don't defensive disruption. It's easy enough for the Sunstrike, but the damage still up there. The bar is right. Ice gets three. Catching Weehawk mid-lead. Tusker so low, but he doesn't die. Ice wants to be denied the creep. May not happen. Hiding inside the sandstorm. The arrow from Weehawk pulls him out. But where is the mana? Ice doesn't have it. The last attack from Wii will do the job.
Ow, that's static link. He was just one hit away, but he had no damage. All of it was sucked away by that level 2 static link. And they were just unable to chain their stuns, get a clean kill with the Sunstrike. That's what they're aiming for at this stage in the game. And falling a little bit behind in terms of XP as they search for kills around the map. And this is before Misery hits level 6.
Radiant's
Crazy
top
thing
tower
to
is under
think
attack.
when you don't have that Naga song to get you out safely. That level 6 you're talking about. But things can start to slow down a little too. DC holding the biggest gold advantage we've had in the game so far, but it's not even 1,000. Shows you how close this is. Innocence currently being chased down by Misery. Fate's going to rotate over. They start with a fortune dance. She'll hold in position. Sunstrike crush, and there she goes. Very simple combo for Wings to execute.
I gotta respect the Sunstrike. And now Moo probably calling for someone over. He is level 6, ready to kill this Faceless Void. Looks like he will be going Lincolns. See the start of the Perseverance. Perhaps Vanguard too, but I think with the Only Shield, it's pretty clear that he's going for Lincolns this game.
He can make Black weep by buying a Battle Fury on him. They make a lot of other people weep. There's that hand of Midas timing, so 10-16 is how long it took for Blink to finish it. But this will now give him really good progression. He's already the top net worth on the field.
Yeah, pretty decently far ahead of Murano. See a smoke gank Moo.
Yeah, they have Doom up and available. The one thing they may reach is the Courier. That's too far away. Instead, they're rotating over. They're searching for Invoker. They don't have to really search that far. He's still attacking the creep wave.
That's a really hard gank to hit. Maybe if we had a better rune, but they're going to have to do it the hard way.
Blink is up far enough. You just scorched her, tank up the tower. You can start with Disruption and catch him. Blink may be far enough away with a Starfall and still force through the Valve with Disruption. Rue didn't find the target. The bar is in the epicenter. He has to back up. He canceled before he got doomed. And that is not the way to go. Resolution brings in the deeps, actually stealing the deeps away from the Slaughter. That Ice Epi was almost done. But Moo's timing right in the money. The SD is down. Ice coming back in for more. 3 stick charges. Not enough for that Fire Strike just yet.
He's going to go in. Naga's not sick.
There it is. They look for a Fire Strike up. Goes towards Wii. He gets a full blade. Ice actually getting nuked. Move. Let out the Hadouken from inside of his chest. Invoker will get away. Resolution Placerfield. In 3 seconds. Does he know? Does he know to go down? The Placerfield here she comes. Too far away. The heal is there from Innocence. We will look for the arrow as well. Blink! He's stunned, but invisible, so he will be okay. But an interesting time for DC to start that fight up before Fortune's End is available, before that saving grace is up.
Yeah, they did not have a Faceless Void available for that fight, and that Shockwave coming out from Doom really caught Wings off guard combined with the Starstorm.
So it brings the damage in. While Shadow not really involved, still got Chronosphere up.
Dire's bottom tower has been
they have that one Observer Ward, which is now down freshly inside the Radiant jungle, which scouted out the movement of the SK. But DC's backing up a very long way.
They need to get 6 on Naga first. So they're taking it up on this troll camp really quickly, and now they can deal with a Chronosphere. Even it's pretty good to interrupt the Sanctum ultimate too.
Weeha? Not certain exactly what his plan is here. Looking towards Faith, he hits the Starfall to begin, but no follow-up with Leap Arrow. Have to be careful going against the Slaughter, having leaped down.
Looks like Dire had used scan. I'm actually surprised they used scan there. They have pretty good wards inside the Radiant side, and Faceless Void was already showing on the bottom lane, but perhaps looking to protect their precious Mirana while she still tries to farm off that Axe. Now that she's level 6, smoke coming out.
Here comes DC. Doom is off cooldown in 8 seconds time. Faceless Void already time walking back towards the tier 1 tower. No mistakes to be made here by Shadow.
You just have to make sure they don't like drop behind and place it as a reward. That's the easiest way to lose your T1 tower, is a smoke gank from behind.
Well, the Naga illusions can look for them. Don't need the observer ward when you got the illusions up. And Shadow's out. Wings is heavily grouped up in the mid, both Ice as well as Innocence together.
They still need more time. Faceless Void's still really weak with just Perseverance in his inventory. Invoker hasn't had enough time for his Midas to kick in, and it looks like they will just stack that tower and look.
They're looking for Invoker. Top lane, there goes the disruption out. Capture it. Well, Resolution starts up with the ultimate with Purge 2 Blink. He's just trying to kill off the Sucker before he dies. The Sunstrike will be on target. And now it's DC's turn to have an easy execution. It will come as a trade-off. The T1 tower middle lane taking considerable damage.
Smart movement from DC. Wings expect their whole entire team to be down there for that.
Oh, they're coming in. Ice going to ace through. He looks to come from behind Virus Strike into the epicenter. The corner is there. It cancels the epicenter. It does catch up 2 DC players, however. Ice now has to haste himself away. Fortune's in. Out from Innocence. Keeping that SK alive. He'll lose his own life in order to do such a thing. The Misery's right behind him too. Virus Strike available. No TP scroll. So he goes down the hillside.
Radiant's top tower
Haste is off. Attack. Arrow wrong way. You went west when the arrow went east.
They will give up chase. Yeah, not really coordinating too well in the Sand King. Ooh, we almost catching on Ice.
I think he's looking for another one. There's, like, as far as vision goes, he doesn't have an observer ward watching the movement. Have to be one hell of a guess from Mihar to hit it.
Faith barely close to his Blink Dagger, but not quite yet. He still sleep now for just a second.
Yeah, that'll give time for the crush. Innocence is on his way. Has actually started up the Fortune's End. He's too far away from the Mirana for that.
You always have to be wary of that Sunstrike. But now we already see the early BOTs coming out from Razor. He is the most farmed hero in the game. Dragonlance, very good at spacing herself, so you don't have to get caught in the Chronosphere. Faceless Void, or get jumped on by the Sand King, who's still a long way away from the Blink Dagger. I like his item choice.
They all are. Iron Talon's not paying off. This is how these guys break meta. Misery will have to fight, defend underneath the tier 1 tower. With Song of the Siren up, Wings have to be a little bit more cautious too.
Delaying Iron Talon?
Yeah, that's not it.
They expect you to go to the jungle though.
That they do. Maybe that's it. It's the next level mind game. Ice, screen. He's getting really close to that Aghanim set, but then Wing's gonna have a problem with the burst damage which DC can provide.
Bottom tower
At the same time, they'll hit their timing with maybe the first item up on Invoker and the Lincoln Sphere on the Faceless Void. Right now, they don't have to worry too much about the Roshan. No sides of Vlad's Moo, usually the builder of it, but this game opting for the phase jump instead. He has converted his Satyr to an Alpha Wolf aura.
Double smokes. DC, they smoked and went through the bottom river, looking down to the bottom lane where Ice is currently farming up. Whereas the double smoke coming out from Wings, they're going to see Weeha actually invis, thanks to Sentry Ward. Very quick Chronosphere, the nuke, the Sunstrike. Sucks a perfect place to cancel that one off, and the Song of the Siren. They may realize that Sentry Ward was down, hence they went on him. And the Song of the Siren will allow them to back out. So no Chrono, no Song, but they keep looking for the fight. Ice, the Invoker can die in the meantime. Shadow caught out by the Purge, as well as the Mirana a little further on. And with the instead, they'll hold Shadow in position. He time walks away a little bit of the damage. He's a little bit long with the Fire Strike. Everything from Ice to the back line. He may find damage. He may have enough with the help. Unbelievable way. The Mirana, she's not out yet. The Bash is the damage from Slaughter. They'll find it. Swinging over the crush. A double kill to face. You still have DC going in deep looking for the other kill for Ice. The Fire Strike up away from Resolutions only. Now the double crush. They don't want any more to do this, Wings. That Blink Dagger will put back on cooldown thanks to Plaster Field. They trigger the drum charge, but Wings back underneath their own tier 2 towers. Ice, what are you waiting for here? Razor's coming over. He'll hit him once. The Blaster Field will be enough to get the kill. Oh, why is he hanging around? The Fire Strike was on cooldown as well, but he tried to save it. And Resolution
Radiant's middle
gets a
tower is
freebie.
under attack.
Yeah, just more and more kills going the way of Razor. He is becoming incredibly difficult to deal with. All these melee heroes trying to go on him, but he just stands his ground, not really under any threat as Blink constantly gets picked off in the side lanes.
And he's going for a more of an early fighting build too. That Sun just flying on the courier to him at the moment. So it's not an early BKB he's looking for. It looks to be an SMY to go along with that Dragon Lance. Plus the maneuverability, the speed he gets from the BTs. Like, he's already moving at 442. It's only going to get faster.
Yeah, that combined with the threat of the Mirana, it's going to be very difficult for Void to hit Chronos in these upcoming fights. And this is even before the Doom has come out onto him.
And Void's still trying to finish up. Like, he's not even thinking about a Blink dagger at the moment. Still trying to get that last bit of money in to finish up the Lincoln Sphere.
And I would like to see a 4-staff come out from one of Wings' heroes to deal with a static Link. We're getting a lot of damage from that.
They both need to get money. Oh, nice Sunstruck with the cold snap. Misery gets hit. The cross on the wing half. Forcing that ultimate position. The attack. He leaves with this choice. Eyesight held back thanks to the purge from Saksa, but it won't be enough to help him stay alive. Oracle purifying him with flames. And they'll take the tier 1 tower after 2 kills.
And I like how they don't really, like, normally when you're in the tank, it's like, okay, I need a few more minutes for my Blink Dagger guy. Just let me stack up a camp or two. But no, they go the opposite route. They go for kills, they get the tower, they almost even get the Mirana with that. And not looking to lay off on the pressure here.
You don't farm creeps, you farm heroes. That's the way Wings want to approach this. They'll give him the top lane now.
You have to be careful to not get caught up by a Moonlight Shadow over here. They don't have any sentry wards in the area. No one's showing on the map, so they won't actually know if they Moonlight Shadow up. They're in position to do so.
And with a TP arriving from Saksa, comes in as that SD. Already Misery waiting in the trees, and that's that Moonlight Shadow you're talking about. Move will walk forward. Eyesight is the one to go on, but where is your damage output? They just have to let him go down. He was so close to having his Blink Dagger, but is stripped away by DC with a kill.
At 2189, and that's what you get. You don't pay for sentries thinking that you can get away with it, but they were missing off the map for a very, very long time. That should always be a warning sign that Moonlight's about to come out.
Surprised he was still then underneath the tower so far. With the Observer Ward up from Wings, they do have good vision. They realize both Saksa as well as Misery on the back line. Space looking for the perfect Blink. Chronos Spear. It hits on the SD. The Crush, no longer the Siren. He already gets the kill on the SD. Misery holding that ultimate while Resolution steals the damage base away with a 4-3 death. Resolution wants to keep fighting here. The Slaughter, there's the time lock. Song of the Siren. Hold the fun, but wait for it. It will be released as the arrow flies in. Who's the connection of the Slaughter down instantly? Fire Striker into the epicenter. DC, the damage, the Vanderbilt out this moment. Eyesight, no Resolution. Kiting with the plasma field. Blink will finally arrive. But the Deathling Blast pushing DC back. Cold Snap moving a little bit too deep. Time lock as well. They bring down Moo. As he is forced back almost up to the tier 1 towers. The Sunstruck looking for a target. A little too early, however. Misery and Weeha were still trying to run away from the lane.
That was almost an excellent chrono, but at least he caught the higher priority target. The Shadow team sucks has been on point with all the
Shadow Arrow Weeha. You still have Blink here to deal with. The Force Spirits are up, but Shadow time walks up the damage. Just barely.
Whew. That HP from the Lincolns coming to help him out right there.
It's funny they didn't even trigger the Lincolns for him.
Still, the Razors have such a huge problem. Sinking almost has his Blink Dagger, still 400 gold away as he perishes another time.
I'll let the guy have the mid lane, then he can catch up.
Yep.
Mid lane as well as the mid camps.
They have Vlad now on Doom, so now they can look towards Roshan Pit maybe as the next Song of the Siren cools down, but he's only level 8 on the Naga Siren. They have to wait a whole 3 minutes in between songs.
Is this going to be like game number 1-2, where they play around Song, play around Faces for Chrono? Obviously that cooldown, as you said, like there's a big difference between the two.
There's more teamfight ultimates this game, so they don't have to rely on just one big one where either team, the Moonlight Shadow, can be used to initiate a fight like we saw on top. The Doom can go for solo picks with his very long cooldown ultimate, and on the other side we have Wings with the Epicenter, which they can easily combo with Slardar to get some easy kills.
Wing's going to finally make use of this timing with the Blink Dagger on ISIS. They smoke up. They are headed towards the pit. The question is, do they go? Nope, they arc up a little bit further north.
They were hoping that DC would take it without Song, because then that's a perfect opportunity for jump them and get a really good lead on this game. But DC are not that careless. Radiant has used scan. They expect the smoke, not in the right direction, but they still kind of know what's up.
Well, they want to go in. Yep, they're going to slip inside the pit for the TPs. They're arriving. DC. The scan was on bottom lane looking for the Naga. Sorry, look how close they are. Past the field from Resolution. Hits on Innocence, that's dropping him by half of his life. Well, they already start the heal. They get out of Roshan.
And with the Naga Siren illusions going to the pit and the Song coming off cooldown soon, there's no way that they can do this Roche. I don't even think if they like headed straight there and didn't go to the Ancients, I still don't think it would have been enough time. Not enough physical damage yet. With the defensive build and Invoker, just not many items at this point.
And this game is still so close throughout this entire, like, we've gone through 23.5 minutes at the moment, and no one's held advantage over 1,000 really in this entire game, both gold and net worth, just showing you how close these teams are.
It's all about the team fight. If they combo Song with a static link before into like an arrow into a Doom, or is Wings going to get the jump on them with a finally blink on the Sand King into an epicenter?
Yeah, that epicenter always seems to come in just a little bit too late. You think it's going to have a big burst, but it doesn't. It is a level 2 epi. So this is the difference which will be there for the Wings team fight.
It depends on how they start off the fight. Like he has a couple of ways of doing it. One combo with the Chrono, but you expect the Naga Siren to come out if you don't get the Naga Siren. If the Naga Siren's in there, then yeah, you channel the Epi. But if it doesn't come out, maybe you wait until after the Chrono Sphere, wait until they're about to jump after the Song, and then go in. So I don't know how Isis is going to play. He's been in the fight a lot early, but that's because he doesn't have his Blink Dagger.
With it now, he does blink straight over the top of the Dire Observer Ward, so DC realized that Wings are doing an incursion towards the top lane.
Oh, there's the Ags on Invoker. I saw his items just a few minutes ago. It's like, he's on top of net worth, but he didn't look like he had that many items. But yeah, with a completed Ags, they have the damage.
He only bought it a minute ago, so...
Dire's top tower
bottom
is
lane,
under attack.
Slaughter.
With the smoke on
Dire's
top.
structures are
Can they
fortified.
find their target? Wings are already bailing out. They bring both Innocence and Faith Beyond down the bottom lane looking for resolution. The
Dire's top
Observer Ward
tower
is
has
giving them the
been
information they want. As Digital Chaos, they see Ice onto their own Obs Ward. That's a long way to go. They don't have that easy jump in like you get from an SK. The SD and Naga have to close the distance the old-fashioned way.
I wonder what they're going to get on the Doombringer, because they ideally want him to initiate the fight. Like, starting with the Song is very risky, because then you leave yourself exposed to the Chronosphere. And Razor, like, he's strong, but once he gets BKB, maybe he can run in. So Razor and or Doom is going to be your main initiators, unless you get a straight arrow. So a lot of different ways, but maybe going something on the Doom like Blink or Shadowblade can open up a lot more options for Wings. Maybe not able to gank the Faceless Void, but everyone else can be an option. You want to be able to deal with the Invoker as he's split pushing.
There's the
Mobility
4-star
item.
you're asking for. It's over on the Slaughter. So we've got both Blink and 4-star, a highly maneuverable team from Wings, while the Blink deck, I guess, is completed on Weeha. So that Blink into double Starfall and then leap away to safety. It'll be problematic for Wings if they get hit by that before the fight begins. And Wings actually buying up a new item of their own. They instantly TP'd the mid lane, so once again, after the fresh Blink Dagger on Wings, this time it's on Shadow, they smoke up and they look for an opening on DC. The Observer Ward tells them everything they need to know. Burrow strike down, Suxer gets popped by the Invoker Sunstrike, and then the Blink double clock! The corner! Now catch out to Misery! The song comes out! The beautiful tones! At least beautiful for DC. The arrow will hit perfectly on Shadow, but Ice, they're trying to keep up. Where's that 4-star forward? They don't have it. They look down. Into the they find Misery. Can't get out.
What a perfect time for a smoke, and I think if you trade Song for Chrono, it's actually pretty good for Wings, because now they can do Roche without fear of reprisal from the DC side. You can't really go in there with Razor and a Doom. Maybe if Piranha hits an arrow, but that's a big maybe, and Roshan is dropping fast.
They let it go. Muse's up on top lane, farming up. We will push out to mid, so at least Wings, they can't just rotate down to the bottom lane and take out the tier 2 tower. They must come back and defend their top and mid lane.
Oh god, look at Blink's items now. He is so far.
Regeneration.
There's the Shadowblade pick up from Rue. That was his item of choice.
Yeah, this is the best way to deal with Invoker. But now that he has an Aegis, it's like, you might have a lot of wasted time with your Shadow Blades. You can't gank the Face's Void with that.
Just hide him out, like let the Invoker sit in the back lines while you kill off everybody else if that's possible.
Yeah, I think that's how it's gonna go. Ideally, you maybe even kill the Slaughter at the start, but then again, you have the Oracle able to disable him when he gets new. It's difficult for them. I think Mirana had to be in there to do a lot of damage and pressure the Oracle to use his cooldowns very early on into the fight. A lot of this rests on Weed.
Well, this man is used to pressure. He's had a terrific tournament so far.
They need more tomes on the Naga Siren too. Like, she is really far behind on level. She's doing well on items, but you really need level 2 Song. Like, they're forced to play so defensively because of this. And the windows for Wings to engage is just really huge. Now, Naga Siren Ultimate is like way longer cooldown from Face's Void. Face's Void can find a fight perhaps in the next minute where DC can't respond.
Say hello to a fresh BKB over on Resolution. Avoid the Chrono, or maybe he can be a big influence in the fights.
He still has to be a little bit careful. Amplify damage with Force Spears beating on him and Sunstrike all can take him down.
I don't think careful is really in his vocabulary. He's running straight down into the lane. He'll actually Plaza Field, revealing the Slaughter. They're TPing out. The cross will happen. Slaughter has a TP scroll of his own. They have no stun on Resolution, but that was one man. DC were a mile behind him.
That's also a BKB reveal, however. Normally you want to fade it out. It's like, okay, Sand King's going to go in with a Burrow Epicenter, and then you turn around with the BKB. That's the ideal fight for them. But now that it's
Wings, Face coming up. They don't realize that Shadow Blade's on the Doom, but now, okay, yeah, they do. They caught a glimpse of him as he backed up. Wings also scanned a little bit further up, and they're trying to see if DC was going to move through the river entrance.
But they already have a gem on Slardar. Yeah, I mean, they're not worried.
Take us.
At Innocence cost, Moonlight Shadow forward. As he said though, with that gem, this may be a big trap
Dire's
in the
middle
tree
tower
lines.
is under
Ice is
attack.
close. Do they get a glimpse? The Slaughter's not far enough forward. Now that they see Resolution, he reveals the fact that Moonlight Shadow was used.
The mid lane just makes this too obvious. Look at mid lane, look at top lane. Creeps are just beating on the tower. This is just a clear sign that DC are away and up to something funky.
Their Wings, they remain patient. They don't find any pickoffs as DC bailed out, but DC were also very, very deep as far as Wings look into their jungle.
And Mirana's falling pretty far behind the net worth, at least relative to the Invoker. The Midas, the Aegis, all these have added up to him being a huge leader in terms of net worth. I'd be much more scared of a farmed Invoker than a farmed Razor, because Razor can only do so much. He also had to commit to a BKB, which is a net worth payment.
Now, how does Resolution in fact build from here? Do you try and go for this, like do you continue for a very heavy mid-game build?
I like the Shiva's build. Gives you a lot of armor versus Amplify, and you need that AoE presence in a team fight, so you can run it there. Your biggest fear as like a BKB hero is running there, and your whole team dies around you because you can't pressure them enough, you can't do enough damage, you can't soak up enough spells, and I think the Shiva's is kind of the perfect medium for that. You're also self-sufficient with the static link. You can link heroes without relying on a disruption or a demonic purge or into the snare. And also just limits a lot of damage output, especially from summons like Invoker. Face's Void, who doesn't have that much attack speed. Although I can say that, he has a Hyper Stun.
Oh, you have the plate mail up, so it's fine. Where do they go? Down the bottom lane? Everyone's grouping up again, but in the trees, Ice stays there with an Observer Ward in the lane. He can make really good decisions.
Yeah, he can.
As far as not dying.
They can set up for an Epi Blink into Sunstrike, but it has to be on a weaker hero. Nagas aren't actually have the gem. They will scout it out. They might kill him right now.
Oh, well, there goes your obs.
I think.
Ice.
I thought he was going to go on him right there. That would have been the perfect kill for them.
Let's see him in the trees.
Yeah, Ice no longer has any vision. He has to get out of there.
Link's almost finished up his Lincoln Sphere. He's got almost all of it now sitting inside of his dash. Actually, no, he's finished it. It's sitting on the Curry.
Doombringer. You'll usually see them go for the Sage creep, or sorry, the Purge creep to deal with the Lincoln Sphere, but at the same time,
be really careful. That gem is there from Fate. They understand the Doombringer's in the neighborhood. As the observer ward on the hillside gave Wings
Radiant's
the good
bottom
vision.
tower has fallen.
They're split pushing the sides though, and Aegis will expire. DC have to be happy about that one. But they're still looking to press this side of the map. Will they be able to take down their observer ward, but before they have to defend the lanes? I don't know. This observer ward still sees them.
Yep, and here they come. Blink up, Slaughter, double truck, Amplify up with a double burst run from Eyesight. The Song of the Siren. It cancels the epicenter. Move, Misery, Wings. It is bail, bail, bail. The TP away to safety.
What a save coming out from them. Sinking, yeah, the epicenter. He has to initiate. That's a problem right now. The Slaughter has to. He went in first, and they weren't really well coordinating that. They wanted to coordinate their stuns, but I have to applaud Misery with his positioning too. As a Naga Siren, especially a support one, you never want to get caught out. And with all these blink initiations, and the 4 stabs, and all these Yules and whatnot, it's extremely difficult to keep a low death count. This game he's already had 4, but not too troublesome. But now they have Chronosphere. They want to take a fight with Chronosphere. There is no Song of the Siren. Shadow Demon now has to be the one to stay outside of the fight. Arrow almost connects on Shadow.
That fire strike forward, Eyesight. Weehaw actually
Dire's
committing
middle tower
the
has
double
fallen.
starfall, trying to hit the SK. Not possible, and Wings just make the right decision. They're going for all the remaining outer towers. They take the mid, now they rotate top. They still have the advantage for another 115 seconds, as until Song is back off cooldown.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
DC, they're trying not to get out farmed at this point, especially with the Invoker getting out of control. But Wings are only 2,000 gold ahead, although that will spike up after these towers. And with the next Roshan, has to be very troublesome. Naga's still not 11.
Eyesight cops a 5-second arrow, but he's got almost every member of Wings around him. So there is no follow-up to this.
As of right now, there's only one Observer Ward left on the map with the Battle of the Gems. DC only have eyes in the Radiant jungle as both teams circle around Roche.
Invisibility.
The Wings are starting to stretch ahead as far as the Golden Experience goes. We're either over or at 4,000 in both the Golden Experience. So Wings slowly, bit by bit, they're getting a small advantage in this game. Even if their team fight and the way the heroes are moving, it kind of feels like they've got a huge advantage.
They have better split push threat. Despite the Razor having the early BOTs, the Invoker is just much better at pushing out the lanes because he can solo kill anyone who's out alone. Whereas the Razor, you can force them to run away, but you can't actually kill them. So DC are having their lanes shoved in at the moment, not what you want to do. Either Roshan.
So does Wings keep farming up until they're at like an immortal position against DC? Or do they need to focus on finding kills outside the base? Because I'm thinking like, how do Wings take the first lane of rounds? How do they work towards this objective?
It's a long process. Firstly, they have to push out the lane so that DC split up. Ideally, you want to get the gem first. Once you limit the gem, then you can get Observer Wards, and then you can take Chronospheres when the Naga Siren's not there. You can get Epi Blinks when the Naga isn't there. You can get Slaughter to crush them with a Sunstrike when the Naga's not there. But it all depends on them having vision of DC and DC. They do not want to split them as 5 and give Wings that opportunity. Once you do those, you can take down Roche and slowly make the seed. But you know, Dota's not a book, Dota's not a script. You can't just follow things like that, and you got to keep the Observer Wards up. So we see one Observer Ward up placed really.
It's such a smart ward.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
It's in the trees at the very eastern part of the Dire jungle, and because Misery is sending illusions everywhere, because you have the gem on them, so they get True Sight out from all the illusions, they've never found this Observer Ward. So Wings, they can see where DC are moving.
Yeah, those are the wards that win you games, especially in the gem on gem ward. It's extremely difficult to keep them. I think that one's going to stay for a very long time. Roshan looks like it's going to be a 2.5-minute respawn.
Time is
The
money.
AC is done in time for it. So not too far before DC can move down.
Dire's bottom
So
tower
they have some
is
nice
under attack.
auras to work with here, DC. At the same time, Eyesight is trying to finish up his Aghanim Scepter. He's rapidly approaching it. This is his primary choice of item after getting the Blink and the Yule Scepter.
Fire as you scan, Eyesight looks like he may run into it. No! TPs.
He's going top lane. He wants the money, remember? Like if he's gonna reach this Aghanim Scepter, he needs to get this top lane farm. He's 100 gold away now.
The TP out super risky there. What if Roche were up or right after that Sunstrike? Then they could easily take it. If Wings try and go in there, then Naga Siren. I don't know if they know that Eyesight is TP'd up there, but it's very likely considering he doesn't have a TP in his inventory. Well, with this smoke up, going to expire. Maybe Wings can scout out with the help. Ooh. Well, they don't need Force Spears when you have a scan. It will land red. Easily doesn't think they're in vision.
Well, that's the beauty of having the Observe Ward over on the edge of the Dire jungle. They understand that DC are not in their jungle at the moment. And this allows Wings to use Shadow as bait. Ice with a fresh axe, hoping to put it to use.
And a fresh Octarine on the Invoker. But that means very few buybacks on the side of Wings. They're throwing all their network on this impending Roche fight.
And DC are just hoping for an opening, but while this goes on, while they group up, they didn't achieve anything. Wings was getting the farm they wanted.
Wings going to show in mid. He could get jumped out right here if they're not careful.
Well, they're headed down for Roshan instead. The Naga illusions are on their way. It's smoke-covered Wings moving up to the Ancients. Weeha comes in the middle of a fire strike up. They find Resolution blocked as well. Can they kill off Weeha? No, the lead path. He'll get the double. Oracle purifies it with the flames once again. And it's Resolution bashed up. The fight was in the two different parts. Ice down the back line to the Chronosphere. Sunstride's coming in. The damage isn't enough. Disruption. Sucker tries to keep his core alive as Resolution runs away, but now with the time dilation, Tornado, we caught him! Thanks to the cross from Faith Beyond, Resolution won't die to fall back from the back from the Shadow, who finds the secondary one into Naga. Sucker, he needs to get out, the damage is horrible! Sunstride, no! He was drawn to the line, but you do not walk towards the line!
Oh man, the crowd goes wild as Wings take down 4. That was, man, I really like their positioning. They didn't go for the Piranha in mid, because that was the only hero showing you. Expect them to go up there, but they go in, they find the back line, and the sleep comes out, but Razor and the rest of the Revenant fall move the sole survivor as Wings close in on this T3.
And I can't wait for Weatherman Person to tear that one apart. You thought DC had the high ground, but unlike episode 3, it is Wings who take the advantage, and they will take the melee racks away from DC. Invoker, no disable, he'll get out safely.
The Slardar has been playing really well. Like, this entire game he's just been finding these multiple men crushes. That was despite like a really terrible laning phase by them.
For Sunstrike, it's all about waiting the damage before DC can respond. They don't have Song of the Siren. Misery's moving over. That's on cooldown for another half a minute. And then they actually find move into the epicenter. They find the bottom lane. The Mac has got enough. The arrow will connect on Shadow. Weeha, he jumps in. He needs double damage right now, but it's not there. Time walks all off. And he's actually in the perfect position with the fire attack. They catch out Weeha. Sentry's dying underneath the tower. They can't get the vision. Moonlight Shadow helping him to escape. Well, Dark will not be so lucky. The arrow will connect again. The DC, they lose 3 heroes trying to contest Wings on Roshan.
DC are imploding at this point, and Wings just played so carefully around that Roshan respawn. The way that the timing of their smoke, the items coming out at the perfect time in DC, they were just not prepared. They needed to be grouped up as 5 behind their cores, but they were just far too spread out, unexpecting Wings to come around from behind.
Oh, the blade burn. Resolution caught, amplifying the Sunstrike. They need more damage. The Fire Strike, they can do it. Combining with the Crunch. There's no Resolution. Move will go down too. This will be it for DC. They've lost so much. They want to keep fighting. Misery, he'll go down as well. GG. They thought Wings will do it.
They thought they had the Faceless Force counter with the first Dig Knock and Siren Reflection. Insane amount of stun coming out from Wings. Their excellent team play. The farm on. Really, oh my god, did it come together at the perfect moment.
Well, at least we get one of the dreams. There's a guaranteed 4 games here in the grand final. But Digital Chaos, there was a lot of smiles going into the end of the draft of game 1. And now, well, the smiles might disappear, but they've still got to